Maybe you already own the classic black Casio F-91, or maybe you're thinking of getting into it and you're struggling to choose which colour to buy, and you want to know if there are any major differences between the black variant and the coloured variants, or maybe you're just considering picking up a brighter watch because we're coming into spring and summer, then this video might be for you. So a bit of context here. I've owned this F-91 for quite a while. It's one of my favourite watches. It's the classic watch which you're probably familiar with, and this is going to be more about the sort of aesthetics and wearing experience rather than the technicalities. As far as I'm aware, the internal modules on these devices is pretty similar. Well, let's give you a shot of how it looks first of all. So this is the F-91 on my 16cm wrist. I generally wear my watches quite high up the wrist, so you can get a feel for how it looks there. Let's compare that with the same watch in yellow. So this is not a watch which I'll be keeping for myself and wearing a lot. This is actually a watch that my wife tends to wear. I don't mind the colour variants actually of the F-91. I just don't think the yellow version works particularly well with my skin tone. Yeah, let's compare and contrast. So first of all, the thing that I notice most prominently is it's not just where you've got a black watch and a yellow watch. It's the yellow version is much more muted in terms of it's purely white writing on this face, whereas on the black watch, the dash of blue, the dash of red really adds to that sort of 80s classic look about the watch. And I sometimes wish the colorway of the bezel on the face on this watch was available in the colored variants. Maybe even with a possible black insert here. I think that could look quite nice. But yeah, so this offers a much more a flat look, and if that's what you're after, sort of great. When you look at the black variant, you see a classic 80s watch. When you look here, this doesn't scream 80s to me. This kind of screams 2000s retro, sort of pseudo retro, whereas this is more kind of the real deal, should we say. The next thing I'd like to point out, which is different, which you might not sort of understand from looking at the pictures of the watch, is the different colours have probably stipulated some sort of different plastic makeup. And what I find is there's a different feel to the straps. So on the yellow colourway here, it's a softer finish to the strap. Whereas on the black strap, it's a slightly harder plastic, and that's reflected in the flexibility of the strap. So this is kind of it feels a little bit more softer, a little bit more rubbery on the wrist, whereas the black one is a tiny bit harder, but it's not night and day. And maybe if you sort of have the watch for a few years, it will add to the suppleness of the bracelet. In terms of the dimensions, pretty much identical. One thing I've noticed is the button on the black watch. The button here is slightly bigger. So you see the button has got a slightly wider diameter. Whereas on this side it's broadly similar. Both have got drilled lug holes on the backs of the watch. Very similar case backs. I'll give you another shot there so you can get a feel for what they look like. Okay, if you were trying to decide between these colorways, I hope the video has been useful, and please check out my other videos, and I'll speak to you soon.